What's up, y'all? It's me, Elsie. I'm back again with my podcast, So Let's Talk. So tonight I want to get into the new movie Straw by Tyler Perry. I've been hearing mixed little reviews, more good than bad. I myself have watched it, and I kind of just want to give you my opinion about it and respond to some questions. So let's get into it. I almost fell out this chair. I almost fell out this chair. Boy, wheel broke on his chair. I'm trying to get comfortable. Y'all, chair almost just took me out. Almost took me out. But anywho, all right. Let's talk, y'all. All right. So my first question here about the movie is this a lot of black women's struggle? What Taraji went through in the movie? And I would say, yes, it is. It is. It's a lot of black women struggle. A lot of us tend to struggle because I would say a lot of us come from single parent households. A lot of us are single mothers. And, I myself was a single mother for a very long time. I had my oldest son when I was 17 years old. I was still in high school, of course. And, I had to do it by myself. I had the help of my mom. But, she was a single mom as well with two girls that moved to a state where she had nobody. She had one brother here and and then she lived with him for a little bit, and then after that she had to survive on her own as a young mother. I think my mom was like 21, 22 when she moved from Texas to Florida with two daughters. A whole strange place to her. She was born and raised in Texas. So I can relate to Taraji in this movie because yes, it is a lot of black women struggle. We do struggle and have to do so much on our own, so much by ourselves. A lot of men in the relationship, if they want to up and leave any given day, they don't hardly ever think about like, let me take my kids with me. We are stuck there picking up the pieces and taking care of the kids by ourselves. We have to figure out a lot of times, not all of us, but we have to figure out a lot of times how I'm gonna get this child to school. Excuse me. How I'm gonna get him to the doctor. How am I gonna work the hours I need to work to be able to keep a roof over our head? And with this economy the way it is now, people can barely make it without having two families in a household right now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So think about a person that has nobody, has no support system whatsoever, and how hard that can be. And then now add on top of that a child that's sick and constantly in and out of hospital, but yet you gotta work because you gotta pay the bills, you gotta keep food on the table. It is a lot. It is a lot. So yes, I think this is a lot of black women struggle. It's sad to say, but it is. And it's like I said, if these relationships don't work out, a lot of times we are there stuck with the children and having to figure it all out. And it's sad to say, but it happens to a lot of us. Happens to a lot of us. So yeah, I can relate to Taraji in the movie. All right. The next question, did Tyler Perry do a good job with this movie? I say he did. A lot of people, I believe, have their biased opinions of Tyler Perry because they may not like him for their own personal reasons, or they might think his movies look cheap, or his movies are always talking about a struggle or whatever. But I think Tyler discussed the struggles that a lot of us have and are afraid or don't want to talk about. Like, let's be real. People may not like his delivery sometimes, but the man is speaking facts. The man is speaking facts. Like, basically, the movie Straw is the last straw. It was like the last straw that broke the camel's back, basically. Like, I think he did a great job in the movie. I wish he would have ended it a little different. But all in all, I give the movie two thumbs up. Two thumbs up. I think he did an excellent job. I think the characters was excellent. And y'all get off to not Taraji, Tiana wig. That wig wasn't that damn bad. Y'all know it. Y'all so used to all these damn lace fronts and these baby hairs and shit just flowing. It ain't your hair, it's somebody else's hair. The wig, yeah, might have been a little cheaper, but it actually wasn't that bad. I heard about the damn wig before I heard about the movie. I'm sitting up here like, okay, what the hell this wig finna look like? I thought it was finna look like some kind of bird nest sitting up there. It was not that bad, y'all. And the wig did move. I seen it move when she was walking away in the parking lot that one time. It was flopping and flowing. Y'all cut it out. Messy. Messy. But anyway, I think Tyler did a really good job. I think he hit the nail on the head with so many things. Yes, people can break like this. Like if you keep getting stuff that happen to you, one thing after another, piling up on your shoulders, yes, you can break. You can break. I have, when I say y'all, I have been there. I have been there. And I'm talking about it's like this happened. Then I'm just like, then boom, a couple hours later, then this happened. So then I'm like, nothing else can go bad. Can't nothing else go bad. Then boom, something else happened. Then something else happened. And then it's just like the weight of all of it just take you down. It just take you down. This can very much so happen. I hear some people say that is it can't really happen. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Somebody said, oh, what police officer gonna just say he gonna blow your head off? Have we forgotten about the lady who was in her kitchen that had some mental health issues and the cop came in her house? Talking about she tried to throw the hot water on him and he said, I'll blow your brains out. And he did that? Did we forget about that? Did we forget? No, I didn't. Did you? I know I didn't. So yeah, all of these things can happen. And especially if you know a little something about mental health. If you know something about mental health, then you know this can very much so well happen. So good job, Tyler. If you ever see this, I think you did an excellent job. I think the delivery was good. I think the actresses and actors was good. You was on point. You was on point. What everybody doing now? No. I'm gonna give you a little clap. Good job. Okay, next question. Um, the mental health aspect of what Taraji went through, Taraji's character went through in this movie. I work in mental health. Um, I've had my own mental health break before. So I get it. What Taraji's character was experiencing in this movie, what people don't understand is like a stress induced mental health break. Stress induced. Stress, like our grandparents and great grandparents used to tell us, stress kills. It does. It causes so many things that happen within your body internally that we think, okay, this can't happen to us. But until you in that situation where it's something so bad and it's like you having an out of body experience, you can't speak on it. You can't speak on it. This woman went through trauma. She was dealing with trauma from not having a support system. She was dealing with trauma because based off of what I took from when they was in the bank talking in the room and she was looking at the picture of what's her name, kids and all that stuff, and she said, oh, you got to be careful who you have kids from and da 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 da. you know she went through that trauma, being a single mom, living in the projects. This woman didn't have AC. She wasn't able to take care of her daughter like she needed to. Her daughter was being embarrassed and teased in school because she couldn't afford to pay for her lunch, so she wouldn't eat the special lunch. We don't know the family dynamic. They never went into details about her family dynamic. Her mom was still alive, but something happened. And we all know just because we got our mamas and our daddies, our parents had lives before we was born. We don't know who our parents were before we was born. We can only go by what they tell us. And as we get older, then we learn, okay, this who my mom is, this who my dad is. And we might grow up not to really like them sometimes because we find out who they really are. So we don't know that dynamic. So she was dealing with that trauma, and then boom, her daughter's always sick. That is a, if you ever have a sick child, that is a fear that like no other. Like no other. You don't know what type of fear that is to have to watch your child sleep, have to make sure they're careful with everything they do, the people they play with, playing on the playground, going to school, going to friends' house, family members' house. You are like what they call a hover mom because you're afraid of what might happen. So her daughter had seizures, she said. If you look up deaths due to people having seizures in their sleep, it is a high number. People never think about that because why it ain't affecting them. If you know somebody or it has affected you, then you understand what she was going through. And this woman tried her best. And then boom, her biggest fear happened. She lost her daughter. Her daughter died. So she had boom, what you call a stress induced mental break and started having hallucinations, visual and audio hallucinations. And I think the way Tyler did that was so creative and so smart because everything in a person's mind when they're going through that seems real. I can honestly say when I had my break, I didn't hallucinate or anything like that. I was more so, I just had a mental block. Like I wasn't hearing what people were saying to me. I was like out of it, like out of space. Trauma is so real. And I love that Tyler likes to speak on the real struggles that we, especially in the black community, like to ignore. We, for some reason, want to ignore all the time mental health. If our kids have a disability like autism, my 10-year-old has autism. He is high functioning, I thank God, but autistic kids are so special. I love them in all their forms or whatnot. But, you know, I'm sorry, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But when you're dealing with kids with disabilities and stuff, that's where I was going with that. We have to stop ignoring this type of stuff in our community. We're not helping us. We're not helping us by ignoring all these mental health things. Like we need to discuss it more, and I think Tyler is doing a lot of what we ignore. Like every one of his movies just about has some type of message. Yeah, he can do all the funny stuff and whatever, but sometimes it's time to get serious and let's discuss the things we don't like to discuss at all and like to sweep under the rug. We've done that for so many years. So many generations have done that, but now it's time to talk about it. Mental health. How many people we laugh at the wino or the crackhead walking down the street that we don't know since we were kids doing being goofy and doing a little dance in front of the stove, the known stove in the black community or whatever. We'll laugh at it, but is it really funny sometimes? What caused this person to be this way? A lot of times it was mental health. And then you know what they do? They self-medicate with drugs. A lot of times these people who are on drugs have a story before they start these drugs. But a lot of times it's because nobody ever got them help. Nobody ever acknowledged it. They just brushed it off. Hey, oh, ain't nothing wrong with so and so. They just be acting like that. No, something is wrong. We sometimes introduce our kids to so much stuff at such a young age. And they gonna be all right. My kids is all right. So and so's. How do we know this? No, we don't. We get so mad as black women as to why a lot of our black men can't show us love or are incapable of being the men that we need them to be. But what we teach our boys, boy, stop that crying. What you crying for? Boys don't cry. Get up. What you crying? What you crying about, boy? Stop being a punk. Stop being a sissy. Ain't that what we tell them? Then those boys grow up to be men, and now they don't cry. Now they don't show no emotions. Now they'll look at you when you crying or you vulnerable as a woman in a relationship with them, and they don't have no reaction to you. But we're teaching our children this who got to grow up. So we need to discuss these things in the black community. We need to discuss them when they have disabilities. Stop ignoring it. Like, oh, if I just ignore this away, ain't nothing gonna be wrong with my child. Cause you so worried about what these people out in the street think. They don't care. I promise you they don't. When you close your door at night, they're not thinking about you. They don't care. You know what they'll talk about? Something wrong with her child, and she's sitting around here on every scene dressed up, hair done, this. Oh, you know she around here doing that fraud stuff. Oh, you know she talking to so and so baby daddy. You know she doing this. You know they doing that. They don't care. It's your job as a parent to care. To care. Stop worrying about what people think. Get your kids help. It is beneficial. It is beneficial. Go to counseling, y'all. Go to therapy. It is nothing wrong with it. People are like, oh, they can't fix me. I went to them, they ain't do nothing for me. They're not magicians. You have to do the work as well. You have to put in the work as well. They'll give you the tools, and it's your job to utilize those tools they give you. If you don't utilize those tools, that's on you, not them. Not them. It's like people getting off drugs. What people always say, they not going to get off of them until they are ready. It's the same thing with counseling or therapy. You're not going to get it until you are ready. Till you are ready. When you're ready, then you receive what they're trying to give you. So, good job, Tyler. Good job on the movie Straw. It had me crying. It had me yelling at the screen or whatever else. I know some people may not like it. Oh, excuse me. Everybody have the right to have their own opinion, but I like that this man discussed what's going on in our community that we like to ignore or we are clueless about. This is a perfect example. And I think maybe now watching this, both men and women can learn something. Men, maybe the men who, before you decide to leave a woman out here as a single mother, maybe if you decide, maybe it's not for you. Maybe that relationship is not for you. But take some of that stress and all that weight off that woman and help. Call. What is that you need me to do? Can I take the child to the barber shop or to get her hair braided or pick them up from school or take them to the next doctor's appointment or whatever? Maybe that would make you think like she going through this. She could actually have this same type of mental break one day. You know, we see it sometimes on social media news. Who was that? The mom that just jumped into the what is that? That dam or whatever, all that water. What is it called? I forget. But anyways, with her two young children, a newborn baby, and I think her 9-year old. I don't know her reasons for it or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure anybody in their right mind would not have done that. Something was going on. So maybe, this will help some men think like, I don't want to leave her like this, knowing this the person that's got to take care of my kids. I need her to be okay. And also for women, we need to be a little bit more smarter about who we have kids from. We need to, you know, be more not I'm not gonna say smarter. I'm gonna say we need to make better decisions as to who we lay down and have kids with. And sometimes we get fooled. Sometimes we get fooled. We think these men are great and they be one way one minute and then the next way another. But we need to, what we can take from this as black women is we need to be more supportive of one another. That's what I will say. We need to stop always looking at one another and judging, trying to be in a competition or any of that, and be more supportive of one another and have each other's back, because everybody don't have a village. Everybody don't have all these siblings, aunties, cousins, and what all that stuff that they grew up around. Everybody don't have that. You have people who are like Taraji's character who have nobody. All she had was her. You get what I'm saying? So That's what I think as women we need to take away from this movie. So again, I just wanted to answer some questions from the movie Straw. I just watched it and I hear a lot of people talking about it. So I just want to talk about it and just touch base on it. Y'all tell me what y'all opinions are. No judgment here. You can feel however you want to feel. I love the movie. I watched it twice already because you always miss something the first go round. So it's always good to watch stuff again. So I say go watch it more than once. If you somebody who only watched it part way through, sit down and watch the whole thing. I think you will get something out of it. If not, then if you can't relate, then good for you. Everybody ain't fortunate to have not gone through a struggle, but a lot of us have grown up with single parents, parents on drugs, parents in and out of prison, dealing with people with mental health issues or having mental health issues yourself, whatever. But those of y'all who probably never went through anything like that, good for you. That's a blessing and sometimes rare. So I'm out, y'all. It's me, Elsie. Y'all tune in to my podcast. I'm gonna be talking about all kind of stuff. I'm not just gonna be talking about relationships and all that stuff. I'm gonna talk about it a lot now because I want us to do better in the black community. But I want y'all to tune in. So please like, subscribe, and share. I'm out. Love, peace, and have grease.